Whoa.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is a big day, Michael. This is episode 250. So everything we say has to be this loud.
No, that's negative.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is episode 250, though. Mike, how are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing all right. Doing pretty good.
All right. That's always good to hear, man.
I'm feeling the flow. I'm living the dream.
Good deal, man. We are back. We're back, Mike. We are a quarter of the way to 1,000 shows. I think we're all excited about that around here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm sorry. It's just something popped up. I thought it was an important alert, and it was not.
Before we start today, I do want to talk about a few things that are important that maybe we haven't talked about at all, actually. I want to ask you real quick, Mike. I want to hear your opinion. Now, of course, you see all these situations popping up, and mainly I'm talking about what happened in East Palestine, Ohio, that everybody in the world is talking about, apparently, except for us. Now, one thing that I noticed about this situation, like with these trains, it's happening a lot all over the place, all over the country. These trains are derailing and spilling a bunch of chemicals into the air and water. Like, is there something to this, or is this just a mere coincidence that at the same time all these trains they decided to derail and spill all these chemicals everywhere?
We've been averaging at over 1,000 train derailments a year.
Isn't that a problem?
It is a problem. That's why infrastructure is a key thing. But a lot of these rail companies are private, and there were rules in place about if you're hauling hazardous materials, you have to have these new brakes on. Well, a few years ago, about like 6 years ago, they were rolled back, and then this happened. So no, it's just like rules were put in place, rules were taken away, and this is what happens. These are the consequences.
Is this why that we're hearing so much about it? Like I said, I mean, you said, which I think is crazy. If this happens 1,000 times a year, I certainly haven't heard maybe a real sparse about it, pretty much my whole life until just this year. Now all of a sudden, it's happening every 3 to 4 days, and you're certainly hearing a lot more about it. What's the significance, Mike? Why? What's going on, man?
It's just it's all about the brakes on these trains. That's really what it is. And then keeping up with the repairs on the lines. America's infrastructure is terrible. It is atrocious. It is horrendous. It's no one wants to spend the money on it. Now we're finally spending up the money on it, but it's going to take time to get this stuff repaired. So it's just still going to happen. We're just hearing about it now because we had one not too far from us where the governor decided to blow this stuff up on the advice of the CEO of Norfolk Southern.
And like I said, you might have heard about these things every once in a while. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, if you turn on any of your news channels, now you're hearing about them all.
Oh, and
yeah. Is that what it is? It's just,
yeah.
Hear me out, though. I mean, if you have any issues in anything, maybe say you're in fast food and the fryer grease is deemed not good enough to use, they'll shut the fast food industry down until everybody gets these things in place to operate correctly. I can't imagine, Mike, that the people in charge, people that have power, people that make a lot of money are going to sit by and just let this continue to happen. Like you said, up to 1,000 times a year. I mean, this seems like it should be a big, big, big issue, and people should be getting together in smart rooms with smart people and smart meetings. And maybe should be taking this serious and say, this is something we have to get fixed like right now. I mean, this is big time problems.
Well, like I said, we finally had an administration that was able to pass an infrastructure bill. So now the infrastructure can actually be improved. And you got to remember, a lot of these rail lines are privately owned.
Private or not, this is a big problem. You're dumping all these chemicals, and these fish are, the acid rain and these dead birds in Kentucky. And
and that's what the CEO hid the fact that there were more hazardous materials on this train than what he led on, and then my governor full-heartedly just listened to the CEO and said, yeah, okay, we're going to do it, instead of actually investigating and see what probing to see if there's more info there than what they let on, but listen to them and then exploded this. Now we have more health crisis.
It just seems to me like this should be a big deal, and it's becoming a deal. I mean, obviously, like I said, you're seeing it everywhere now. When it poured a couple thousands of chemicals in Oregon and in Texas and this and that. I like I said, I mean, we should maybe be taking this the CEO out and tar and feathering him and figuring out what we got to do to fix this, because and what are gonna, we're going to talk about the things that need to be done, and then it's going to linger on for months and months and months, and nothing's going to get done. And let's just say they start something in September. I mean, this seems like this could be a big problem. And
It is, and that this is why regulations are important. Okay, there are regulations put in place, then regulations were taken away, and then this is what happens. And now someone else is trying to help clean, is trying to fix everything that someone else messed up.
I just can't imagine this getting fixed. I can't understand. And maybe I'm just not that smart of a person, but for this to all get taken care of seems like that's going to take a long time. I mean decades, Mike. I'm not even talking years of this, because if you're going in and you're fixing the infrastructure, you're fixing the railroad tracks all across the country to make sure this doesn't happen. It must have took 50 years to get all all the railroads in place to begin with. Now you got to go in, you're going to stop trains from moving. This seems I can't even imagine it. Again, I'm not an expert in this field by any means, but this seems like this is who's going to want to do this? Who's going to fix this?
It's going to be the companies that own these trains. They're going to be pressured into doing this, pressured into fixing it. But yet they're going to have people that are going to protect them and saying, no, you're infringing on this business. You have no right to tell this business how to operate.
Well, if you're killing people and you're poisoning water,
but profits matter more than people.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I was going. So it really doesn't matter. As long as the people with the money ultimately get what they want, this is something that we just bear the cross and say, you know what, if I get thyroid cancer, then that's the case, and we should just move on. I don't understand why. You know what I'm saying? This seems like a really big problem. And I know I said that about 8 times already, but fuck.
Yeah, and it's something needs to be done, but we'll wait and see what happens here. And yeah, Derpy, it's about like, oh god, it's only like 20 minutes down the road from me.
What's up?
Derpy, he said he's about like 45 minutes away from where it happened. And okay. I'm about like 20 minutes away, but I'm south of it. So like I didn't get any of the air quality issues, but now like the waterways, yeah, like where it leaked into the creek beds and everything that it leaked into, it leaks into places like parks that I go to and stuff. So it's gonna be interesting.
I mean, I see that Kentucky is experiencing acid rain. If it's getting to Kentucky, it's certainly getting to you.
It all depends on. That's true. Hey, give me some acid rain. You know what? I'm just ready to just pour all the chemicals on me. I just want to
just end it. Just fucking end it already.
Just end me. Look, I'm congested, so I'm going to blame it on that. I did not mean to make light of the situation,
because I just think that if you get on route whatever this is up here past Walmart and you're in East Palestine in 15 minutes. It's very close.
Oh yeah, it's like God, like really, really close for me. And it's wild, man. It's just scary. Because I have like trains, like boom, like right along the Ohio River, right below the hill from where I live. Yeah. So yeah, it is like very, very, these train derailments. I think there's like 4 or 5 tracks right around my house.
And here, where the studio is, all we have is train tracks. That's all that's around here. As a matter of fact, if you take a ride through the county, you're going to see more trains than anything. But Aaron Brockovich, Mike, apparently Aaron Brockovich is going to be making the trip to East Palestine, Ohio.
You know what? Hey, more, I welcome it. More eyes on it, the better.
I am so not savvy to the whole thing about Aaron Brockovich. I thought that Aaron Brockovich was just a movie.
No, she's an actual advocate.
I learned that now. I didn't know that. I thought, oh shit, what was the
Yeah,
girl?
so yes, little minion content.
What was the what was the lady that played Aaron Brockovich, the girl with the big
uh
lips?
Julia Roberts.
I see. I'm thinking Julia Roberts is going to show up.
Yeah.
She's not showing up, is she?
No.
And Aaron Brockovich, she got to be 100 now because didn't that movie come out about 25, 30 years ago?
She's probably like, in her 60s or so, something
I got to
probably.
go check his Aaron Brockovich out. And I think Donald Trump, and could you imagine Donald Trump walking around East Palestine
You don't want me there when he's there.
thinking about giving him a handy J again or
No, I'd have some signs
sloppy
there.
J?
I'd have some signs there. Like I'd be asking him why did he relax the standards on the brakes to allow like Civil
No,
War
there
air
we
brakes on
go.
these planes. So I'm just bringing up facts that happen.
Mm.
I want to ask
Also,
my governor why he has not asked for federal aid or waited so long.
I think that's all mess. I think no matter what you ask any of these people, you're just gonna get the same stupid ass politic answer. That's what you're gonna get. We're on our own. I think we're on our own, Mike.
I'm on my. You know what? Here we go. Down. Oh God, what's that song like? On my own again.
Oh,
Driving down that lonely road.
now who
Here
looks
I
like the old
go
fucker?
again. I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It sounds
I
old to me.
I'm just trying to lighten the mood, fellas. Just trying to lighten the mood.
Well, we got East Palestine, we got Derp, we got some things going on today, Mike. Welcome to the Two Dumb Yinzer Show. This is episode 250. One thing I did see, Mike, a couple things before we do start. You recall in the movie, we're not talking about movies, Aaron Brockovich.
Oh, I could ruin a joke, Derpy, like no one else.
And you
I
don't
just
know Derby.
I can take the joke too far, or I can cut it off way too early.
It's usually pretty
It's a
bad.
talent, man. It's a talent I got.
And also, Mike, we're talking about movies. Exorcist 2023. Exorcist 2023 is coming out. Are they beating the hell out of this Exorcist thing or what?
A little bit, but you know what? People are still going to go see it because it's The Exorcist, man.
Absolutely.
I'll watch it. I remember that movie. That movie was creepy when I was younger, man.
That was the movie. You know how sometimes people put on social media was the one movie that changed your whole life or it had an impact. It was certainly Exorcist. I remember popping it in on a Betamax on my parents'
you want to talk about old?
My parents' Beta, where I would always put in my dad's porn. I'd find my dad's porn, but I would put in Exorcist, and I remember that really fucked me up for my life, man. It really did. And here's one more movie, Mike, an older movie, not as old as The Exorcist, but something that I read this morning about the Chinese. Now, do you recall the movie Demolition Man?
Yes.
Okay, and we were talking not too long ago, you and I, about the Demolition Man and all these things that you kind of see starting to come into place and happen that were on the Demolition Man. Now, the Chinese just came out with, and they were working on, I guess they're trying to perfect it, is a kissing device to where on your phone you would hook a device up to your phone and your significant other or whoever, maybe a guy, something for you, they would hook it up to their phone and you would kiss this piece on the phone. And while you're kissing the piece, they feel your lips and they have the piece as well. And they kiss it and you feel their lips. Like, this isn't too far from what happened in Demolition Man. And you got to know that it would be the next natural thing to happen to have people having sex in this particular, in this kind of way. Like, it's coming. Demolition Man is prophecy.
It is coming. We're going to have that. We're going to have Taco Bell's going to be the fancy restaurant. And we're going to have the 3 seashells.
That's the only thing that bothers me, Mike. I could do the Taco Bell, but it could go hand in hand because you have to know how to use the seashells, of course.
Yes.
I'm still stumped on the seashells, just like what the shining gold was in Pulp Fiction. I still don't understand it. And I still don't know what those seashells are for and how you use them. So I may be in some trouble when that does happen. But this device, Mike, if you'd go try to kiss your little friends or whatever, you would be able to just kiss this, just like that. And then whoever on the other end would feel your cold fish lips on their lips. And, this is a way that you could be intimate with other people.
I like it. I like it. Real quick, Derpy just said, they remade Children of the Corn. I'm gonna check that out. I love it. And P, I think you're right. Yeah, the government might just have to build new tracks independently or replace them and tell them, hey, this is what you get. Rat burgers, P. Heck yeah. I just want, is Dennis Leary gonna help me rob Taco Bell. That's all I want to know.
Uh,
If so,
I love those
I'll be down
underground
with it.
people. That would be those are the
They
people
were
that I
great,
want to be
man.
involved with whenever
Me
shit goes
too.
down.
Yeah.
Remember the underground folks, the ones that were, they're just badasses riding around on their
Yeah.
motorcycles
They
causing
knew what was
problems.
up, man. They knew what was up.
I want to be those. If
I,
that comes to fruition, which it's probably going to happen some
uh-huh.
capacity, I want to be them guys.
I just like that swear machine. You get
Oh,
fined.
fuck that shit.
Oh, I'm screwed
Fuck
big
that
time.
shit. Dog. Fuck that. Fuck that. There
There,
ain't no
there, go-
fucking there's no way
there,
in
there,
hell.
there
There's no
goes our
way.
monetization chances.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. People swear too much, especially in America. It's become the first language.
It is
Cussing.
too. It
How
is
can
too.
you tell people in America, especially not to swear?
Yeah.
I
Especially like, using the F word. It is so versatile. It's
yes.
a noun, it's a verb, it's an adjective. It's
I use the F word as fluently as I breathe. I
yeah,
just I
I
can't
know.
possibly imagine fighting
It's
that
so
battle.
expressive with it. I love it. I love it.
Meghan Markle upset and overwhelmed, Mike, by the portrayal on South Park. Meghan Markle.
I feel bad for this lady.
Do
Normally,
you?
like for like a lot of celebrities I know, like she was all, she handled the pressure, being on, she was on Suits and stuff, a little bit of media scrutiny, but then she got a whole different level when, she married was it Prince Henry. And then like that British media, man, anything she would do, she just got shit on and 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 shit on. Where the other one, the one who married the one who's next in line to be king, she would do one thing and it was perfect. Merkel did the exact same thing and it was like the worst thing in the world. She just like compounding pressure, and it's getting beat down, and it's like she can't escape it. So like when something like innocuous as like South Park comes along and makes fun of you, that should be like a badge of honor. Hey, South Park's making fun of me. That's cool.
That's
At that
right.
point, though, of like the whole, like you take the step back and see like everything that's happened to her, I can understand where she's coming from. Where it's like most celebrities, like, hey, man, that's cool, but they weren't getting beat down the way she was by like the British tabloid, and you just have that years of that type of stuff. So now you think, okay, they just hate me because I did this one thing, and they legit hate me instead of hey, they're just spoofing me. So I see where she's coming from.
Now, here's the thing that I just learned. I was just yesterday years old.
Mhm.
There's two princes apparently that have these wives that are walking around. It's not just Meghan Markle. What's the other? What's the other?
Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton. All this time, like I thought these were both the same people, the same
No,
couples, and I'm watching and I'm not really caring. And I seen the girl. And I thought that's not her name.
no, yeah, Kate Middleton's the one who can, oh, look, she gave a little baby this. Oh, it's so cute. Meghan Markle does it. How dare she touch this child? That's not hers.
Which ones moved to Canada and gave up royalty?
That's Merkel and Harry.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
I was not aware that those are two different couples. I
Yes.
thought it was the same couple all along.
Two different couples.
I was just yesterday years old when I found this out.
Unfortunately, I knew all this stuff, and I hate that I know all of it. But when you read news sites, man, stuff you don't want to know just seeps in there.
Yeah, I must have missed that.
Or I have a secret crush.
I must
on
have
Meghan
missed that
Markle.
article.
Meghan Markle called me.
Mike, let's get into some sports.
Yes,
I
let's get
can't
into
stand you.
sports. I'm blaming you. You started this fiasco today.
Let's start with the Penguins.
Oh,
I get the news yesterday that Tristan Jarry's getting the start in net.
yes.
We're playing the Islanders. We're at home. I thought, okay, we're gonna get things started, and it was more of the same. Like the Islanders lose 4-2.
Yes.
Jake Getzel and Zucker scored the only two goals. Jarry going into this match, Mike, was 7-0 against the Islanders at home in regular season. Maybe coach looked at this and said, you know what, this is the perfect time. Let's get him in there. Let's win this football game or this hockey game. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And Jarry was 7-0, a 929 percentage, a 2.18 goals against, and 7 career home games against the Islanders in the regular season.
Yes.
I thought if this doesn't spell turnaround in time to get things going the other direction for the Penguins. However, that wasn't the case. So, like I said, the Penguins lose, Mike. They lose 4-2. They drop to 27-20-9 in a division. This is the first time that I'm going to make the call right now. Penguins are not going to make the playoffs.
I agree.
Here's what I think is going to happen, they're going to play better. It's just going to be a bit too late. That's my
Oh
opinion.
yeah.
That's my guess, my prediction. I say that they will eventually start getting a little better, but it's just going to get to that point where it's too much, too little, too late, and they're just not going to be
Mhm.
able to sneak into the playoffs like they have been in the past, and just kind of have the ball bounce in their favor. Right now today, I'm going to call it from me, coming from me the first time. You said it before. Penguins do not make the playoffs this year.
They do not. Unfortunately, the way this team's playing, it's you can't blame the big three. They're playing the way you want them to play. This is on everyone else on that lineup, outside of maybe like Gensel and Rackle. Those two are producing, but like Rust is not playing the way he normally does. Dumoulin's playing terribly. The rest of that defensive course is playing terrible. It's a dumpster fire, is what it is. What the hell is Brian Burke, Ron Hextall doing? What's this new ownership doing? What is their plan? What is their vision? It's what I want to know, because what, a year ago or 2 years ago they asked Ron Hextall, "What's your vision?" He's like, "Oh, it's in my head. I just can't put it down on paper. I don't have the words
What
for
does
it."
that mean?
So
What does
that
that
means you have no
mean?
plan.
You're a
You're
GM. You
yeah.
can't tell me what your vision is.
Yeah. The vision is like, I'm going to hope that the three Hall of Famers I have are going to be able to carry me. And that's just what it sounds like. It is just I just can't. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, I have an answer for you. This is no shit. I really have. Ron
Okay.
Hextall says, quote, Pens will look for a bottom the Pens will look for bottom six finds before the trade deadline, Mike. He's looking for bottom six scorers, something to help out on the third and fourth line.
That is actually truly he's right. That is what's needed on this team. That bottom six is one of the worst in the league. My God, his signing Jeff Carter to the contract he did at that time was one of the dumbest things he's ever done in his career. Jeff Carter was he played well for us, but you could see that the end was coming
Well, he was
for him.
old when he got here.
He was old when he
and he
got
was
here.
able to bring his veteran ways to the team. But you know what? Eventually, you just become an old hockey player.
Yeah, you do, and it's it happened. He hit the wall, and he needs to go. But unfortunately, there's like no team that's gonna want to trade for him in that contract. Plus, I think he has a no movement clause, so he has the right to say no. I'm not going here. I'm not going there. So it's going to be rough. People you might have to trade aren't the ones that you're going to want to trade. You're going to have to look to trade someone like a Rackle or a Gensel, maybe even a Russ, see what you can get for them to shed salary cap space and get younger, cheaper players.
And Derpy, I'm reading constantly here what Derpy and P are saying. The thing is, we won the cup in 2016, 2017. And here we are, we're going in, we're in a whole different decade, and we're kind of leaning on these same guys that won the cup in 09, that went to the cup in 08, one in 16, one in 17. Here we are in 23. Like you said, it's awfully fun to have Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Letang, and it's nice for the fans and things like that. But at some point, we got to do something, man, because this team's not getting any younger. This team's not getting any better. And every year, you could see it making that regression to where 1 year they did well, 1 year they started losing the first round. Now they are a jeopardy in jeopardy of not making the playoffs. So I mean, it's obvious and apparent to people that this is what needs to be done. Things need to start happening. And if that means not having Evgeny Malkin skating down the ice on your team anymore, that's going to be what it takes. Like, the bottom line, you have to win.
Yeah, but it sucks that they're not the problem. But I see what you're saying, because you could use the money that you spend on Malkin for someone else.
Get maybe three quality younger guys that can kind of pick up the slack in some of these areas that we just we're not doing it.
But the thing is, though, like Malkin, Letang, and Crosby's salary they're only counting for $28 million of the cap. That is for three Hall of Fame.
Pretty amazing,
players. Yeah. That is amazing. So that's on Hextall handing out these crazy contracts to people like Jeff Carter, Kasperi Kapanen. I mean, what the hell? What's he thinking with those choices right there? Gensel's kind of high price, but he's a legit goal scorer in this league, so you're gonna have to pay him that amount. But some of these other contracts make no sense. But if those three are making $28 million, you should have a stellar lineup around them.
Yeah.
Because my God, look at Edmonton, what they're playing they're paying more than that for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and they're able to have a decent team around him.
Connor McDavid, speaking of him, Mike, they will be coming to town on Thursday night.
Like that segue.
That was great. I loved it. And
I'm getting good at this.
Getting okay. But no, the Connor, you're right. They'll be here Thursday, Mike, 7:00. The Oilers will be in town. I don't think that that's what we need at this point.
No.
But on the other hand, you know what? If you keep getting bad teams and getting wins, what's that really doing for you? Because anytime that you play anybody else, you're losing the hockey games. Again, this is way bigger. Let's enjoy Connor McDavid and his skills this time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at this point, it's you can't be upset. You can't.
Oh no, you're seeing he's gonna, like, once Crosby, Ovechkin retire, he's the guy. He already might already be the guy, and that's no offense to, like, oh my God, Crosby's still up there as one of the best players in the league. Ovechkin's still probably the best goal scorer, but McDavid right now is the best offensive player in the league right now. He's a joy to watch. I love watching him play. He's frustrating to play against, but he's sure as hell fun to watch.
You know, yeah, no two ways about it. He is a beast. He's going to be the guy for this generation that's up and coming right now. No two ways. But there you have it, Mike. Thursday night, the Oilers will be in town. Play the Penguins, 7:00. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out now.
Let me hop over to the hardwood briefly before we move on. The Pitt Panthers, Mike. The Pitt Panthers sitting at number 27. They're ranked 27 in a league where they keep track of the top 25 as the best teams in the country. Pitt still sits outside despite losing that last game to Virginia Tech. They still sit as high as they've been all season at the 27 spot, Mike. Pitt's 19-8 overall, 12-4 in the conference. They're going at it tonight against Georgia Tech, who's a pretty bad team, Mike. Georgia Tech is 3-13 in the conference, 11-16 overall. I think Pitt wins this game. After this, you have Syracuse, you have Notre Dame, who are both bad teams, and then you finish up against Miami. I think the Pitt Panthers are going to finish well. It's going to come down to that Miami game. And you know what? We beat them the first time, and I'm not rolling it out that we couldn't beat them again. I think that we could probably win these last 3 games. And if they do win these last 3 games, that's going to go well for us. And, go into the ACC tournament and look toward March Madness, look toward the big tournament. But tonight, everybody, that is also a 7:00 game. Check that out. That is Georgia Tech at number 27 Pitt.
Let's go Pitt. You don't hear me say that a lot, only in basketball. This team's making me root for them. I don't like it. I'm rooting for a Pitt team. I feel dirty. I'm a Penn State fan.
We're going to hop over to the to the gridiron, and I'm going to stay in Oakland briefly, Mike.
Okay.
Kalijah Cansey. Now they're talking about pass rushers. He's actually listed as the 3rd highest rated pass rusher, only behind that guy Hurst from Michigan, and then that Barmore in Alabama. There's a chance, Mike.
Whoa. Behind who from Alabama?
Barmore.
Christian Barmore, he's already in the league.
I don't know if it's Christian or not. From Alabama?
From Alabama, I know Will Anderson.
I could look it up if you would like me to, but
I'm sorry. No, I don't mean to. I'm just a little.
All right, hold on. Let me get out of everything I have going on here.
Oh no. I just want like some of these names weren't
hold on. Just get relaxed, would you?
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Defensive tackles, highest career.
Okay.
Pass rush grades. Maurice Hurst, 92.5 out of Michigan. Christian Barmore, 92.2 out of Alabama.
Okay. I see what we're saying now. Okay.
Kalijah Cansey, 92.1 out of Pitt.
Okay.
And Quentin Williams, 92 out of Alabama.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misheard for a second there. My apologies. I thought you meant coming out of the draft this year, but no, that's overall. No, my God. Christian Barmore's he's turning into a stud. You said what? Williams? Quentin Williams?
I don't know. I already got out of it. Would you just,
I'm sorry.
Would you just go with the fucking flow?
I was trying to. I misheard it, and I wanted to make sure I spoke correctly. But no, yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, Kalijah Cansey, Mike, he could be a guy. I mean, if we're looking at some people for the the defense. I think he's good. He's not going to be on the Steelers, but he is going to be a nice pickup for somebody. He was wreaking a lot of havoc. I mean, you've seen some of these pit games this year,
Oh
what
yeah.
these guys are doing as far. I mean, I think they were the top team in sacks and things like this. If we got him, it would be nice, but I just don't think we have the room for him. We do have needs at other positions, and I just can't see him coming to Pitt as a tackle, Mike. I think that there's other needs that we're probably going to get first.
Yeah.
Like Derpy, he's talking a lot about the drafts and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, I was.
I think that the DT is going to be something that won't be the first pick. It won't be the second pick. And I think
I think maybe the second pick. I wouldn't be surprised if it is the second pick if they take oh my god, Sika Ika out of Washington. He's my guy. He's my guy just because he's a big mountain of a man.
Yeah.
I hope they take him just because I love when we get the big guy down in the middle. But I'm afraid he can turn into like, oh, who was that guy? Steve McClendon, who was just a big guy that didn't turn out. So I don't know. D tackle would be a nice spot to get.
It would be a nice spot. I just feel we're going after that offensive lineman. We have to go after that early. We got to get we want to get one of the better guys. Obviously, we need.
Oh yeah.
We need that anchor on the offensive line. And then you're looking for your corners, you're looking for this. I don't know. But like I said, if we could land Cansey, that'd be great. But I just don't think that he's going to make it that far long. Also, Mike, of course, Aaron Curry is going to come here to start coaching from the Seattle Seahawks. And in Charlotte, Mike, he also coached Alex Highsmith and Larry Ogunjobi, Mike.
Ooh, nice. So he has some familiarity with a couple of these players in here.
When it comes down to the defensive, we could bring Ogunjobi back and get him working with the defense, the linebackers, things like that. I like this connection, Mike. I like this. I like this Aaron Curry. I think it was a nice hire.
Me too. It's good. It's getting better and better. The more you hear about him and what he does. I do hope the Steelers bring Ogunjobi back. Hopefully, I don't want to overpay for him because he does have injury concerns. He missed some games last year. That's why we were able to get him. He failed a physical. He signed like a $40 million contract, and so he became free on the cheap. So it'd be nice to get him.
Somebody would love to have him, and it would really make sense. Would be this defense in Baltimore, Mike. They, of course, he has to finish his.
He does. He just
his rounds,
tour of the North.
His tour of the North.
Yeah. And
plus, they're losing some big names. Obviously Queen and a couple other guys, but that kind of leads me to where I'm going next, Mike.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Hop in here. What Derby said that Highsmith possibly being traded. I would like to do that. Trade him high. He has good value right now, and I don't want to put that much money under contract for him. Only prove because he really hasn't proved that he can do anything without Watt, and with Watt's injury concerns. I want a guy on the opposite side that can still be dominant when Watt's out.
It's going to be tough to find that guy, though.
It's going to be hard, but
basically that position is the position to complement TJ Watt.
Yeah,
because even with Bud Dupree, it was the same thing. With it's basically that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a guy who's probably not going to be a superstar on any other team, but who's going to be just enough to complement what TJ does, and he does it very well, as did Bud Dupree. But I think if Alex Highsmith goes somewhere else, you're going to get the same thing you got with Bud, underperforming, not getting the numbers that people expected and are going to pay money for. And I think that's the problem. But
if you can flip him into a decent pick and then still get someone off the street or in the draft that can plug into that spot and give you what Highsmith did with Watt in there, I think that's a smart move.
Ravens GM eager to get Andy Weidl away from the Steelers. Weedle.
Ooh.
So the Ravens, they're getting interesting.
They are. He's afraid. He's afraid of what my man Andy can do.
You're shopping around Lamar. Queen's leaving town. They're now concerning themselves with Wade. Say his name again.
Oh yeah.
But maybe the Ravens are starting to worry. You know what I like about the Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that they're not that there was a chance they might not have Lamar back. Yeah. And the Lamar Jackson has never really hurt us. And like we'd said before, if you go back and look at his numbers against the Steelers so far in his career, he hasn't really done anything too great at all. I mean, it's bad. It's actually bad. But I still like him to be gone
Yes.
in a sense that we don't have to worry about one play changing the course of a whole entire game. Say it's 16-14, which every single Steelers game has ever been 16-14 at some point. There's always, he's one play away, Mike. He's one play away from running a 65-yard touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one thing that I was worried about with him getting drafted by the Ravens. And that's one thing that we didn't have an issue with. So I'm ready for him to move on. If he goes to the NFC or gets somewhere far, far away from us, that's fine with me, because he's that guy, Mike. He's that guy that could change the pace of a game in a heartbeat. So that Mike, is why I'm happy with the Ravens. They are seriously trying to deal Lamar Jackson.
Good. Get rid of him out of the division, because like you said, man, we've been able to contain him, and you can only contain a player of that caliber for so long before he ends up killing you. Like you said, breaking off on those long runs.
Right.
Imagine they actually put receivers around him more than Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Give him some weapons. Look out. And yeah, let him go elsewhere, please. I don't want to deal with him anymore.
He's missed more than half of the games. He's missed more games than he played against the Steelers, so that helps.
Yeah, that helps.
And then the
time.
couple games that he did play, we ended up pairing up really well. Yeah. The team that scared me most about him, Mike, was where they had him and Ingram and somebody else in the backfield.
Yeah,
they would all line up in the shotgun or
Dobbins.
the pistol, and he would get the ball. And he would, fake it here. And then you didn't know who had the ball. And then you had three guys just sprinting full speed in three different directions, and you didn't know who had it. And if you just so happen to pay attention or, wake up or look up and you see Lamar, he's so fast by the time you catch that he's the one with the ball, he's gone. So you know what? I love it. I love it. I love the fact that he's not going to be there anymore, Mike. I love it. I can't even express.
I hope they do trade him, but if they franchise him, that is going to be the biggest story of the offseason, because is he going to sign or is he not going to sign the contract? Because that's going to, how many dominoes are going to fall? Like once his contract gets signed, okay, that's going to, like, down the line next year, all the quarterbacks coming up. Now, Daniel Jones saying he wants $40 million a year. So what's Lamar Jackson going to get? 70? If Daniel Jones wants 40, Lamar should get 30 more at least. Right. Like if I was a GM, I'd be like, look, this is what Patrick Mahomes is making. No one's getting more than that. So sit down, shut up.
Especially Daniel Jones. I've yet to be impressed with Daniel Jones. And I'm not going to say he's a terrible quarterback. He's certainly not one of the elites.
No.
Finally, the Giants finally get to the playoffs. They make an early exit. I think they won the first one, but Mike, to pay this guy that kind of money is it's no fucking way.
No, I would like Lamar on the Jets. Put him on that team, because they're going to get their Breece Hall back. He tore his knee out last year. He was running well for a rookie. Brian Robinson back in the backfield. Was it Robinson, the dude that they got from Jacksonville? He's pretty good. Garrett Wilson. You have a team around him in New York. He would thrive, I think. And that team is one quarterback away from doing some damage.
I think the Jets.
Oh yeah, the Jets. That defense.
I think the Jets are just one or two guys away. I mean, you've seen they started out pretty hot this year.
Yeah.
And then they hit that brick wall. I think they're only one or two guys away. If you bring in somebody like Lamar Jackson, that changes the team entirely. And then you bring in maybe another guy here and another guy there. I don't know what their draft pick is, but it can't be
13th, I believe. They're high up there, man.
They should be able to get a nice draft pick. Mike, the Jets aren't that far off. It's just that division it's developing into a tough division too. So have to kind of keep up.
Now that Brady's out of New York, man, it is a toss up there.
It really is.
The way Miami's coming on, the way Buffalo seems to, like, they can't get over that hump to where you can challenge.
Like Ben DiNucci, we saw play football on Sunday for the Seattle Sea Dragons.
Yes.
Pretty productive. He had a nice game. I always liked this game. The kid's got mad athleticism. I threw a nice touchdown shuffle to one of them shuffle passes to Josh Cribbs. Mike, it came up yesterday in some of the local Twitter sites for Pittsburgh Steelers. What about Ben DiNucci as a backup for the Steelers?
No.
He's better than anything we have. You do know that,
no,
right?
He's not better than Trubisky. He is not better than
crazy
Trubisky.
As hell.
Ben DiNucci is no. He has that.
Mike, he is better than Mitch Trubisky.
No, he is not. No,
if you watch these two guys play, one guy looks like he's shitting himself the whole game, and the other guy's mad athletic and he can do a million things. And
there's a reason Ben DiNucci's in the XFL. And Mitch Trubisky is challenge for a starting
Please
spot.
explain why Mitch Trubisky should be in the NFL. I haven't seen anything yet that showed me why he should be.
Oh my God. No, I'm not going down this road with you. Mitch Trubisky is a way better quarterback than Ben DiNucci ever will be.
You're out of your mind. I would rather have somebody who looks like the athleticism of this kid, Mike, compared to somebody like Mitch Trubisky. It's day and night.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, hold on here. Let me see if I can find Ben DiNucci's career stats.
Well, of course,
Mitch
Trubisky was Mitch Trubisky was drafted to be a starter in Chicago, so the stats aren't going to listen. You, Mike, just stop. Ben DiNucci, watch these two guys play. Watch these two guys play football, and then after that, then tell me. I'm talking about the overall play of the guy. If you're going to sit here and use manipulated numbers, that's not going to work.
Manipulated numbers, saying exactly
because what I just said.
Did.
Yes, because one guy did get drafted to start, and that was the case. The other, so you can't listen. Watch them. That's what I'm saying. Watch the two guys play football, and then at the end of that, then we'll talk.
Ben DiNucci, 3 games played. He's 23 completions, 43 attempts.
Mike, 3 fucking games. You can't. You
0 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Mike, just stop. You can't. Here you go with the you can't.
4 fumbles, 2 losses.
Watch the two guys play.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, would you? Would you watch the two guys play, and then we'll have this conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. That's enough. We'll stay with that.
Okay.
Watch them play.
I'll watch all.
We'll talk about this later.
I'll watch all 43 of his career passes.
Please do.
And be whelmed.
Please do. $1.4 million, Mike, to upgrade Acrisure Stadium bathrooms. $1.4 million. These must be the most amazing bathrooms in the history of ever.
They cost more than Ben DiNucci's salary.
I can't wait. And you know what? Apparently, it's not going to be anything downstairs. It's all upstairs, all upper level bathrooms at Acrisure Stadium. So if you like, you have a problem going to the bathroom in public, I think you're going to enjoy. It's going to be enjoyable to go to the bathroom up in the upper deck of Acrisure Stadium. $1.4 million going into.
That's insane.
That's
insane. A lot of Jacoby Brissett. You know what, Derpy? I'm on that line. I am on the Jacoby Brissett bandwagon.
Well, just last week you said it wouldn't have been a good idea. You said
no. Hey, man, I got
no. I said Brissett should come here. You said no. That
was 2 weeks.
Pull it up.
That was 2 weeks ago. I said no. Then I said, you know what? You and Derpy kind of were starting to convince me.
No, because you flop all around, and that's the thing. I can't really argue with you because you change all the time. And
I new stats, new information.
Because there's been a game in 2 weeks with Jacoby Brissett that's could have updated his stats.
I'm looking at the salary cap implications. Inflation.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, inflation. I know you're talking about the bathroom prices, but I'm going to use that in my argument.
Here we go. And ESPN's Jeff Darlington believes that the Titans, Mike, are going to be talking trade when it comes to Derrick Henry, and they're saying, and he was saying in his report that Buffalo could be a landing spot for Derrick Henry. Can you see Derrick?
Oh my God!
Talking about making that team, that will be the piece.
That would be a piece there. Oh my God! Because they're, all their running yards for the most part come from Josh Allen.
Right.
I believe he.
You had Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
They become the team. Yeah, they become the team in the AFC immediately.
Yeah. Because you have Devin Singleton. Excuse me. He had 819 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's not bad. My God, for that many attempts, 4.6 average. Second leading rusher, Josh Allen, 762 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I want to take that away from that quarterback. You put Derrick Henry in there and you substitute him with Devin Singletary, James Cook, unless one of those two get flopped in the trade, Henry for Singletary, and then picks going here and there, who knows what. But you pair Josh Allen, Henry, and Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
it's a nice offense there. Dawson Knox is in the bench,
and Mike,
that's a nice
all season last season. We talked highly of this Buffalo Bills team, and I even went as far as saying this will be the team of the AFC until they started getting too cocky, and I just didn't want them to win anymore. But like I said, you make this trade, this team becomes the team that's in Super Bowl 58 next season. No,
I don't know if it quite puts them better than Kansas City, but it puts them really, really flipping close. Like that might be a coin toss situation, but I wouldn't be offended if people would say Buffalo would be better than Kansas City getting Derrick Henry, because now, my God, you can pound the ball against them.
See, I think Buffalo, they were only a good player, a bounce away from being a team
Oh
that
yeah.
could and should have been in the Super Bowl. You add a beast like Derrick Henry,
Oh
Mike,
yeah.
that just changes the. They could add so much depth to what they do
Oh
in
yeah.
everything that they do, where they become almost impossible to game plan for.
Oh yeah. Like that defense, they lost, but they lost Vaughn Miller and a couple of other key starters in that secondary throughout the year, and they just weren't 100% healthy going into the playoffs. They like attrition got them. Like, you lose that many starters on defense. I don't care who you are, who your quarterback is. You're not going to be able to go far when you're that decimated on the back end, especially in a passing league like this.
I would like it, just like I said. I just think that I think that Buffalo is going to be that. I think the AFC is just going to be so freaking hot
Well,
in
I
the
can't.
sense that you have
It's going to be
Buffalo, you
awesome.
got Kansas City, you got Cincinnati. A couple other teams aren't too far off. I mean, you see Miami and the Jets kind of hit that brick
Yeah.
wall halfway through. So I mean, they're just a couple players, a couple key players away from being a really good team.
Yeah.
And I think that goes against, because Philadelphia and San Francisco are the only two teams in the NFC that I think have a legitimate shot as of right now with what they
Yeah.
have talent wise. And this might be what keeps that first time quarterback who took the L in a Super Bowl from going back or winning
Yeah.
or whatever, because these Mike, these are, unless Jalen Hurts can do amazing things and Philadelphia can keep that team together and continue to play the way they did, it just looks to me like it's going to be another AFC decade, as it
Yeah.
was with the Steelers, with the Patriots, with the Colts, with the Broncos. It hasn't been an NFC league in quite some time.
It hasn't, and I'm okay with that because the less I have to watch NFC on Fox,
Mm,
the better. Because talk about one of the worst productions
I
ever.
hate that Fox, huh?
I do too. That's why, I think that's a part of the reason why I never really liked like the Cowboys and the 49ers. It's because the presentation on Fox. I hate it.
Packers.
I hated it. There's players on those teams, like damn good players, that I just hated because they were on Fox on that shitty production.
Mike, here we go. We have coming up next week, I believe, the Combine, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I
Is
believe
that
so. Yes, I believe it
going
is
into
next week.
next weekend? So before we get to the Combine, today, Mike, the USFL at 1 o'clock has their college draft. Why is this significant? Because we do have the Pittsburgh Maulers,
Mhm.
who I'm really excited about. I'm really into the XFL, so now I'm really excited about the
Yeah.
USFL. They do have their college draft today, Mike. It's going to be
Yes.
10 rounds,
Mm-hmm.
80 picks. I'm getting excited for that. Got the Maulers coming.
Yeah.
Why? Where? With all these leagues, and I'm really into them, and you know
Mhm.
that. I like chasing these new leagues around.
Mm-hmm.
Does the Arena Football League still exist?
No.
So the Arena Football League is
As
done.
far as far as I know, no. I don't like the as we knew it. I think it's
Yeah.
done for good. There might be
Dirty, I
like
agree. I
low.
do love the new colors.
Yeah.
I did like them last year just because they were the Pittsburgh squad, but I do love the black and gold, baby. The
Yes.
Maulers.
Here's the thing with the USFL draft. Like you said, they're picking players that are coming out hoping to be drafted in the NFL. So the USFL, they got to be smart, like taking players who weren't invited to the combine, lower level players, and hope that they don't get signed to a practice squad and they can sell that dream. Hey, you come here and you put on game tape, you can get a shot. You might, we're not going to guarantee, but you get good film on here. The NFL, they're going to take a look at this and you might have a chance. So if they're smart, get those guys who weren't invited to the combine and like people were projecting as undrafted free agents. Don't try and target anyone major.
Yeah,
Just target
right.
those that lower level guys to sell them the dream of, hey, you can keep playing football, keep getting paid for it, and you one day, hey, catch on a practice squad, get into games, and that's what they need to do.
I like the leagues. I like all these leagues. It's football. It's football.
Yeah,
I could watch football 365 days a year, and this helps me do that as
me
much as I
too.
can. The Arena League, one that I really miss, Mike. I don't know if it's still around, but I don't think it is. I like the lingerie, like with the chicks that They wore like the bikini bottoms and shoulder pads. That was my favorite. That to me was the best out of all of them. Why they would go take that away? Who wouldn't watch this? Really blows my mind.
I think
And I would fight tooth and nail to bring that league back.
I'm not sure if it's still up and running or not, but yeah, it would actually had good ratings. And these women, man, they were balling out.
They were balling out.
They were hitting hard. They were taking no prisoners, man. They didn't mess around. They took it seriously. They're like, yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna dress like this, get people to watch, but we're gonna go out there and play. And they played, and I loved it.
I mean, they have like the women's football, the Pittsburgh Passion is a team in the women's football league, which I like and I respect and I will watch. But the lingerie league, Mike, that's where it's at.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe that it's not thriving.
yeah. I think people they give it a look and like, oh, okay, I've seen it once and I'm done. But
No.
it's actually a good. They played, man. They took that shit seriously.
And who are these people who think that?
Idiots.
Over to the hardwood, Mike. Mac McClung, do you know of course, the slam dunk champion from this weekend in the NBA? Do you know when he was in high school, he passed Allen Iverson? Allen Iverson for the state of Virginia. I think he was in a prep school, apparently.
Uh-huh.
And he passed Allen Iverson in points scored in high school.
That's insane.
That is insane.
You know how good AI was in high school. My God.
Absolutely.
How good did this kid have to be?
And he's 6'2".
Yeah.
And if you get a chance, I just put on I think it was on my personal, not on the show. I put a video up. It was the college video that he made for when he was okay.
I don't know if I saw yours, but I've seen other videos of him in college just doing some amazing
Mike,
stuff.
I almost can't believe what I'm looking at when I watch this kid.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He is amazing. And I like his biggest problem that he's short. Not many 6'2" players in the NBA.
Right.
Like you have to be like next level talented. Muggsy Bogues, he was so short, but he had next level talent.
Right.
And McClung, I don't think he has talent, but not enough to overcome being that short guy.
Right. I really dig. I mean, at first it was laughable. I thought, okay, what is this? Some kind of joke? He's going to be a novelty more than anything. But after watching and seeing like what he does on the floor and he's in those lower leagues. He came up to Philadelphia. Now I believe he's within the Philadelphia system.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to watch him play, Mike. He's just kind of a freak. And I always talk about these freaks in sports, somebody that it's just so different than everybody else who's just the top of the line, as in our NBA players and our NFL players. And you just get that one guy that's just different. I always bite into that. I like that. I'm going to follow this kid, whether he succeeds, whether he doesn't, whatever. He's a lot of fun to watch, man.
He is. Speaking of AI, I want another AI Allen Iverson type player in the league. I miss the way AI played, that attitude, that swagger, to where his first handful of games, he's a rookie in the NBA. He's like Michael Jordan, like he doesn't scare me and just goes up and guards him one-on-one, like he's been doing it his entire career. I miss AI. I wish I could go back and experience his career all over again, because
all of his AI-isms.
He was great. Man, we sitting there talking about practice, not a game, practice.
If you want to check something interesting out, if you're maybe a little younger and you maybe heard about AI and get to see him play a lot, go back and watch him play at Georgetown. Just look at the guy. He had no tattoos. His hair was, very. You'll be surprised at the guy that you're watching when you go back and watch the Georgetown footage. I recall they played Pitt twice a year whenever they were in the Big East. I'm sorry, and I remember just seeing that transition. The transition to one day, he was just no tattoos, no.
And then one day, full sleeves.
Full sleeves. It was really amazing. I like. He's just like I say. He's one of them freaks, Mike. And again, he was 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
How can you not get into guys like this?
Oh yeah. Like I said, he was short, but he had that next level talent. Just imagine like if he was big as like the size of like Jordan or Kobe,
right.
People would have been like, they already speak highly of him, but he would be in that upper echelon conversation. Right. I love me some AI.
Mike, you want to hear something interesting? I found this out on the show 23. Now that's the baseball
Yeah.
game. People that are
Uh-huh.
into video games. The show 23, it has included on it now. It's called Storylines, a new game experience, the Negro Leagues.
Huh.
So you could go and play, which I think that this should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
But you could go in on the new baseball game and use use like Satchel Paige and like any of these
Yeah.
guys, these greats that you hear about constantly. I think that that's pretty cool. I think that that's cool that that the show 23 added that, and I think that's a really cool thing. And I think the way that I'm understanding it is, it also has like storylines to it and stuff. I think that's really cool, Mike. And I'm bringing this up especially because of Black History Month, but I dig that, and like I said, I think that that should have been done a long time ago.
It should have, because like a lot of these games, they would have legends in there, but they really didn't have people like Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson, Cool Papa Bell, like all these players. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
know,
would
like when we
love to
grew
play
up,
a
we
game like
heard
this.
about them all the time. Of like, oh my god, like how would it awesome have been to see these guys play in the majors against,
Yes.
and these guys were top of the line athletes, and it's nice to see, finally in the year 2023 they're finally being included in the video game. And
Yeah.
yeah, and these guys were some of the greatest players of all time, and a lot of people now, I feel like it's getting lost in the shuffle. Because I remember, us, we're, oh my god, we're in our 40s, and we heard about these players because I think they were still a lot of them, a couple of them were still alive at that point, so you kind of had that living history going on. But now that I think just about all of them are deceased, or the relatives are, or whatever.
I dig,
You just
man.
don't hear about them a lot anymore. I just remember, like, every time we watch baseball games, a couple times
I want
we
to
hear about them
have the
all the
opportunity to
time.
play with these. You know what I mean? And I'm not into
Yeah.
video games as much as I used to, like you are, but
Mhm.
I would like to have
Yeah.
that opportunity to to
Mhm.
use these guys. And you've always heard about
Oh yeah,
how great they are, and
because my lineup would be nothing but them.
yeah.
For them. Oh my god, you know what I mean? Nothing but the players from the Negro League, and then throwing a Roberto Clemente in there.
Geez, and then you tell me about we're not
I
getting
know, I
down to
said
the come
them,
on,
like them.
you.
Phrasing, Mike.
Oh,
That P, you're probably right. They waited until they all passed to pay less rights. Probably it's all about the money, man.
at the end of the day, that's the bottom line, and unfortunately, that
Yep.
that could be. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website, man?
twodumyinzers.com, the number 2dumyinzrs.com. Head on over there. You have links to everything you need for us: YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and click on any of those. Boom, takes you there, and links to every other place we are. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams, email addresses on there. So everything is at twodumyinzers.com.
Check it out, everybody. www.twodumyinzers.com. Also, we are on all week long, 5 days a week, from Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the show we do that day gets uploaded later that day at 8 o'clock in the evening over on Spotify in podcast form. If you just have a chance to listen to it on the way to work, maybe put it in your earbuds at work, you could do that. All those are uploaded at 8 o'clock the day of the show over on Spotify. One more real quick thing, Mike, fellas, anybody, check this out real quick before we go to the trivia. Whiskey salvaged from a 170-year-old shipwreck was discovered. It could be worth millions. These people age their alcohol and their whiskey and their wine. 170 years old, discovered from a shipwreck.
I like me some whiskey, Body by Whiskey. But I'm not drinking a 100-some-year-old bottle of whiskey.
Probably has the plague in it and shit.
Yeah, I'm not trusting that at all. Like wine, after a certain point, yeah, it aged, but nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't want any part of that. And I'm not a germaphobe either. So
all right, guys, we have time for quick trivia. What I'm going to do today, Mike, is I'm going to continue on the XFL. And this one is another easy one. Yesterday, what was the one yesterday? It was something about the first season. Tommy Maddox.
Yeah.
Who was the MVP of the first XFL one, the early 2000s. This, Mike, is another simple one. I think this one's more simple, but I did want to stick with the XFL theme because the XFL was such a great experience for me over the last weekend.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it go, Mike. So here we go, everybody. Guys in the chat, people at home, here we go. And like I said, this is easy. If you get it wrong, we'll kill you.
Oh God, I'm getting killed.
No, like I said, here we go. What two colors adorned the odd-looking official XFL football? Now we're looking for the original XFL 1, early 2000s.
Oh,
What two colors adorn the odd-looking official original XFL football? Mike, don't blurt out the answers just in case the fellows want to try on the
I'm blocking the screen. I'm blocking the chat.
Just in case we're going to participate, and I'll just give these people a moment to get their answer too, because Mike likes to blurt it out.
I'm excitable.
All right,
that's my shtick.
Leave me alone. All right, Derpy has an answer. Derpy says red and black.
Derpy, I'm good. That was my guess. I'm going with red and black.
Hold on, I want to see if P wants to answer as well. We get everybody on the board in. Oh, Derpy's now saying I think, Mike. I think it was.
No, Derpy knows what's up. I'm doubling down with Derpy.
All right, pull yourself together.
Because I think the ball was black and it had red lighting. Oh my God!
All right, you. Pipe down.
I'm a.
And P says, wasn't it red and black? XFL 1. So there you go. See, P, Derp, and Mike all say black and red. Is that your
we all can't
answer?
Be wrong.
All right, locking you in. One more time. What two colors adorn the odd-looking official original XFL football from XFL 1? All the guys said red and black, and the answer is red and black. Great job, guys.
Yes.
Great job. Put on your thinking caps tomorrow. It'll be a little bit more difficult. We'll get a little bit more into I don't know. Again, I mean, you know, people didn't really get into the XFL, so I don't really want to get into statistics and things like that. But I guarantee tomorrow will be a little bit more complicated than the color of the football. But great job, guys. You all nailed it.
Yes.
Mike, do you have anything you want to say before we take off today, sir?
Oh, yeah, Mitch Trubisky, baby.
There you go. Ben DiNucci in the house. No, but hey, we will continue with that, no doubt about it. I want to thank everybody that hopped on the chat today. I want to thank everybody for watching. Of course, we hope that everyone continues to do so. We appreciate each and every one of you. For Ryan.